Hello, everybody. Today I'm talking about Mars in Gemini, and this is a very tough, challenging transit because awaiting Mars in Gemini is Rahu, and opposite to Gemini in Sagittarius is Saturn Ketu. So, this is a big clash that we have been talking about. And on 7th of May. So a little bit late night 6, early morning 7th is when Mars moves into Gemini. And this is very complicated. And so how to deal with it? What are we expecting? How to stay calm in this very kind of complex, crazy time? Hello, everybody. This is Komilla Sutton, and I am going to talk about Mars in Gemini and Rahu Ketu Rahu conjunction, Ketu opposition with Saturn. So, there are times in life when planets are in a seriously bad mood. They have a potential. I would say I have to really highlight the word potential to create a lot of disturbance. But it is only a potential. And we as ourselves and you too have to be careful about how you deal with this transit. So the transit is happening and it's happening for the world. So it's not just you or me, everybody is experiencing this transit. The moment Mars goes into Gemini, Mars doesn't like being in Gemini. Mars is a warrior planet. Gemini is questioning, analytical, scientific personality. So he's not too happy in Gemini. This is not the best position for Mars to be in naturally. But then Rahu is awaiting it in Gemini. But the main thing is this, that you may not feel this immediately because there's a big difference between the degrees of Mars and Rahu. Mars moves about 1 degree every 2 days. So it's take its time to reach Rahu's degree. But Rahu is 25 degrees. So on 7th of May, Mars will be 0 degrees. So slowly it's going towards it. But have no doubt that they are going to clash on 14th of June, and they are going to be explosive in their experience. But the influence is already there. So 2 things to remember is that Mars is of Agni, of fire. And so, it can be very fiery, very aggressive, very impulsive. And Rahu is air, and air likes fire. That means when air meets fire, it can get out of control. And that is what you and me both have to be careful about, that we don't allow our impulses, our anger, our frustration to get out of control. When the planets are like this, you have a great responsibility to take care of how you react to situations. So this is the main thing. But then, Mars Rahu conjoin once every 2 years. There's nothing it happens. It's like a big drama and they go away. But what is unusual about this year is that Mars Rahu will conjoin and Saturn Ketu are exactly opposite. And Saturn also is air and Rahu is Ketu is fire. So there's this whole frustration, anger, blocking, all these energies are taking place. So you've got to take care and be cautious of it and understand that these are not the easiest energies for us to deal with. So slowly Mars is going to go closer and closer towards Rahu and opposite Saturn Ketu. And then in the mix of all this, on 1st of June, Mercury comes into Gemini as well. And he's also going to then be part of this energy. That means the ruler of Mars is going to be with of Mars in Gemini is also going to be in the sign. That means there's an added influence there. And Mercury acts like Mars and Rahu, so it will act like them. So there's like a double Mars, double Rahu. So there is a general potential for difficult things to happen. And so we have to stay calm in this energy. And you should be very cautious about how you deal with it, what you do. So let us just get all the information together. Firstly, as Mars comes into Gemini, it is in Parivartana with Mercury. I made a separate video about Mercury in Aries and the Parivartana. So I'll put a link above and you can check that video out and see. So basically the Parivartana lasts till 18th, and that can be quite good for certain signs. Certain signs not so good. But basically it's this whole concept of analyzing and impulsive behavior, and you have to try to find a in-between paths through that. And generally Mars is good if you discipline your Mars. You like a warrior, they're very disciplined, they get up at a certain time, they follow the rules, they are so that's what makes a good warrior. So at this stage, your discipline is very important, that you don't think, oh, I'll compromise, else it will work out. And the thing is that Jupiter is not aspecting these planets at all. Jupiter is in Scorpio, so it's not giving any calmness to the situation. So they are sort of left to do whatever they want to do on their own. So on 18th of May, Mercury will move away from Aries. So the Parivartana between Mars and Mercury will finish. And still Mars is not so close to Rahu, and it will move towards Rahu. And more so, Mars goes into, I'm just looking at the day, on 6th of June, it goes into Punarvasu Nakshatra, where Rahu is there itself. So after 6th of June, then you see that it is not an easy energy, because then all the players are opposite each other. Mars is in Rahu's nakshatra, and then Mars is in the same nakshatra as Rahu, and Saturn Ketu are opposite. So we are really looking out for potentially difficult energies as well. And then the big clash happens on 14th of June. And then by 15th, it is okay. But then 18th of June is a Mars-Mercury conjunction. And 22nd June, Mars leaves Gemini. It goes to Cancer. Although Cancer is a debilitation place for Mars, in a way, it's good for Mars, so that it's out of the influence of Rahu. You see, what is Rahu's influence? Rahu is very shadowy. He's secretive. He's manipulative, and he tries to get you to follow his path by feeling dissatisfied with the present. So you think, I'll fight it and I'll do it and I'll be okay. But there is some secret agenda there, that you can be an innocent victim of somebody else's manipulation. So that is one thing you have to be careful. Secondly is to keep calm. To wait till after the transit is over. If you want to have an argument, you want to force any situation, do it after Mars has moved on, not during these transits. And secondly, if other people want to argue with you as well, then you have to be careful to keep quiet and not to get involved in their drama. It is their drama, not yours. If you think that way, then that is very important. So then the nakshatra transits of Mars are also crucial to know. 7th of May to 22nd June is its transit. 7th of May to 22nd June. Now, 7th to 17th, Mars is in Mrigasira. That's the time it's in Parivartana. It's really, you can say, mostly out of mischief. It's not in any kind of difficult energy. And so that is, it's moving towards Rahu. So what we are thinking is that we should be cautious and careful and not be thinking about rocking the boat for the future. That's what we are thinking at this stage. Mrigasira is Mars' own nakshatra. It's very intelligent. It's very bright. It's also about sacrifice. So sometimes the sacrifice can come in the way that we think, okay, we should not be selfish at this stage. Let us just sacrifice our own desires. So on 17th of May, Mars goes into Ardra, and by being in Ardra, it extends the influence of Rahu, because Ardra is ruled by Rahu, and when a planet is in a nakshatra, its thinking is controlled by that nakshatra. So there can be some volatility, some anxiety. I should be doing things instantly. I should be working now to finish all the projects. Whereas you have to hold your horses. You have to take care, take time. Don't rush into anything, and don't overanalyze things. That is also very important. That don't overanalyze things. Mars is in Ardra, Rahu's influence is there. Rahu is not in the same nakshatra, but Rahu is the lord of Ardra. So Rahu's influence is there. And Ardra lasts till 6th of June. And of course, at that stage, Mercury is also come into Gemini by 1st of June. So there's a lot of things happening that are creating, disturbances and creating issues. And even if it is not directly with you, you'll feel that there are other people that are experiencing it and you have to deal with it. And so Ardra is, one weakness of Ardra is that it can get suddenly very angry and frustrated. And Mars is a fiery, angry planet. So, you have to be careful that you don't lose your temper or lose your cool, that then you are paying for it much later with it for a long time because of things that you've said in anger or done by this really angry, impulsive nature. So that's a thing that you have to be careful in. And then from 6th of June, now we are in the main period of this crisis time, you can call it. At least that's what I feel like. And 6th of June to 22nd of June, this whole period, you can take it as, because now Mars is in the same nakshatra as Rahu, Mars is in the same sign as Rahu, and because opposite Rahu is Ketu Saturn sitting, so they are all together. Those of you who are following me, you know that this is tough. Now, I'm telling people to 12th to 18th, 19th to be very careful around that time. Now, Mars is gone into Punarvasu. And the good thing about Punarvasu is that Punarvasu is ruled by Jupiter. It isn't as volatile as Ardra. And so it is some kind of Jupiter wisdom that, we do something now, we have to pay for it later. We should be careful, we should be wise. So Punarvasu, can calm the situation slightly, because there's no Jupiter aspect to these conjunction and oppositions. And Mars is with Rahu, Saturn is with Ketu, so it's fire-air combination. And fire-air combination can make a small thing and make it huge. And that is what, at least in our personal lives, we have to be careful that we don't allow that energy to develop, and we don't have to deal with that. So what happens is that 14th is the conjunction, Punarvasu with Mars Rahu. Then 18th is Mars Mercury conjunction. Before that is Mercury Rahu conjunction. So all these timings are volatile. And the big issue is that the opposite side is Ketu Saturn sitting. So all these things are pretty volatile. So we have to understand that quality. And then, Mars leaves Gemini, goes into Cancer. In a way, it's a relief. Even though Mars is debilitated in Cancer, it's a relief that it is no longer being influenced by Rahu Ketu. And Rahu especially, is very secretive. It's hidden areas. So we don't know. It's not all revealing what it's saying. And sometimes it's these things that come from some deep psychological issue, and you can get easily manipulated as well. So to take care. So I would say that the main thing that we can do is to know that this transit is happening, that we are taking care. That is the best we can do. We can do, prayer and chanting. It's a good time to pray to Lord Shiva, to your own deity, whoever you pray to, your own deity, meditate, be more zen. And sometimes, things happen. Like even this recording I was doing, half the recording got totally messed up. So then I had to re-record it all. So it's irritating, but I thought, oh my God, these planets are there. So I have to deal with it and just but not get irritated by it. So thank you again, and lots more to come this month. I'm posting number of recordings, so keep a lookout for it. Do subscribe. Thanks very much.